We're here now in Krakow, Poland. And welcome to Krakow, Poland. Here we go. Ta-da! And there's the keys to get in. How cool is that? And here's our home, away from home for the next few nights. One room in there. This is my room.
It smells like salami.
Unpacking.
Yes.
So our first stop is going to go find yummy food. And we looked online and there's a whole bunch of choices literally right outside our door. So this is gonna be really cool. And we found this tourist information booth, so I think that's a good stop for maps and stuff. So what I just thought it was interesting is how many places we were looking on bookings.com that are actually available as apartments. So instead of using like an Airbnb, you use booking.com and it's pretty much the same thing.
So we're about to go eat at this place called Momos, and it's Indian style,
We think it's Indian style food. It's like a vegetarian bar. Let's go see. Salads we're choosing from so far. Look at our plate. Okay, one more. What else, girls and boys? In case you guys are wondering what the cost of this salad is, it's a choice of 6 different salads, and it was about $6 US. Pretty amazing. Yeah. What did you get on Chili?
pancake with tomatoes and
Potatoes.
potatoes and herbs, and lentil soup.
Huh?
Peanut sauce.
Peanut sauce. And what did you get, Chloe?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I didn't order.
Beans. Oh, that's spicy beans. Pancakes with spicy beans.
At their studio, it's delicious.
What do you think, Chloe?
I'll try it.
All right, Chloe's gonna try the food. Let's see.
That's actually really good.
Is it good? Yeah, me. So everything we just got, which is still like super filling, almost too much for our family, was $30 US here in Poland. So you get really, really good value for your money. We just spent like the whole morning working. It was like super productive, and now we're all like really hungry and starving, so we're about to go get some food. And Tyler found a really cool like Israeli kind of restaurant, so that's what we're gonna go check out. This is our lunch today here.
Looks delicious.
In Krakow.
Some typical dumplings and spinach, pancake, salad, big salad.
Look at what Angelique just found.
If you want to charge your phone, you have to pedal a bike.
Like that. At least that way you're fit while you're checking your emails and stuff, right?
So right now we're outside of Schindler's factory and we're going to go see a tour of it.
Okay, so I wanted to explain to you guys a little bit about the Schindler's factory that we were just at and what these chairs behind us are. So just first off, to go to Schindler's factory, you need a good, well, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. Good 2 hours, because there's so much to see. It's so well detailed and documented. There's like pictures, you have letters from young little kids, as young as 5-year-olds, who wrote letters about their time and what it was like when the Nazis kind of took over their city, their hard times, and some of the funny stories and stuff like that. They weren't really funny, but like things like they did to survive, right? And yeah, we learned a lot. We learned about how the walls of the ghetto went up in their city, and it was like a city within the city, where all of a sudden they were all confined into this one area. How they transformed from getting paid, so they were paid workers in different factories, to literally working for free. And they had like, what, 200 to 300 calories per day that was given to them food-wise, so very little. But at the Schindler's factory, they had at least soup with some meat in it, and they were fed better than some of the other places, or obviously some of the concentration camps. So what the chairs are, though, behind us
is that when people were, because so basically the Nazis told the Jews that, oh, you guys are gonna be going to like better homes. So when they all brought their chairs, so then when they get there, they have a place to sit. So that's why, and this is where they used to like bring them to the camps basically, and that's why there's all these chairs to remember.
Yeah, they were told bring a suitcase and something of value.
Yep.
And so it wasn't to go to better homes, but to different homes.
Yep.
And well, maybe at this time it would have been better than where they were confined in the ghettos. But so yeah, these chairs all behind us are to remember, and this square is where they literally departed from, like Julia just said. So it's pretty crazy. All right, so right behind me is the Vistula River. As you can see, you can take like boat tours and such on it. And we're just walking right now towards the old town of Krakow. So you're gonna see the same river when we go to see Warsaw, and then it goes all the way to the Baltic Sea. So it's a pretty long river, and maybe the girls want to share a little bit about Krakow. Which countries does Poland border?
So it borders Germany, Ukraine, Slovakia, Lithuania,
Czech Republic,
Belarus,
and a little bit of Russia.
yes.
So a lot of countries.
Good job, girls. Okay, so here's one good thing to know about being in Poland, is that pretty much every single place we've been to so far, whether it's just to buy like a little street food from a vendor, or maybe a bottle of water or what have you, I've been able to pay with my debit card, which is really impressive because not all places we go are like that. So it's been quite nice. We're looking for a big cathedral with beautiful stained glass, but I don't think this is the one. Maybe it is this one, because here it says, visit the most beautiful church in Krakow. So maybe, just maybe, this is it.
It's Krakow.
Krakow.
I'm just
Royal Castle.
I think this is the church that we're looking for. How cool the sky looks right now. It's so pretty.
But really, I think it's gonna rain.
It might.
Okay, so this park here is called Planty Park, and it's one of the biggest here in Krakow. And it surrounds the old town, so pretty cool. It is really big, and you can see sculptures, you can see gardens, and a whole bunch of beautiful things.
So yeah, the garden, like they call it, basically surrounds the whole old town. So it goes like in a big circle, which is really nice.
These paintings are really beautiful, especially that one I like.
That one you like? It's beautiful. Look at this. Right behind me, this building is called the Cracow Barbican, and it was basically very instrumental in defending the city, and it was at one point attached to the city gates that we just walked through, so right over here. It's also part of a museum, so if you want, you can go in and tour inside. So just to give you a little bit more history, so this entry point and this gate was basically an entry point in the north for incoming traders, and it actually had an easily burnable bridge. And the whole old city used to be surrounded by a wall, which you can see part of it right here. So this was the old city wall. And there was a moat. And right now, what the moat used to be is this whole park that we walked through. So this used to be an old, like the old moat, basically, that went all around the city. Okay, so this guy here, his name was Jan Matichko. I'm probably saying it incorrectly, and he was born in the 1800s. And he was basically a very famous painter here from Poland. Typical Patton family. We started the day a little late, and we are taking forever at every single point. So let's get going. Here we are, going through the city gates again.
So behind me is the theater.
Pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
And prettiest of all is little Miss Chloe standing in front of it.
Those. I remember once going to a restaurant like this somewhere in Switzerland.
What is it, girls?
This restaurant we came to a couple years ago.
This is the same brand. Look at, you see that lady, that grandma lady?
It has typical cuisine from
Poland. This was amazing.
Yeah, we love their food.
This is the main square downtown in the old town of Krakow. This big building right behind the carriage that you see, this is called Cloth Hall, and it's basically one of the very first shopping malls, I think, in the world. Inside there, we're gonna go show you inside, but there's still like shops and different things like that that you can go see. And at the time, it was like the main trading center for all the different things coming from the east. So they would trade things like lead and salt and textiles and spices and all these other kind of exotic products. got our beautiful music box, and it sounds like Paris to me. Does it? La, 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 la.
It was really good pricing.
Yeah, everything's good pricing here in Poland, which is awesome. That's because when we were looking at the last music boxes, it was in Lucerne, Switzerland. No, I mean before that. When we're comparing prices, it was like, yeah, it was going to be like maybe like 40 francs or whatever. So of course in Poland you're going to get it way cheaper than Switzerland, of course. So the girls are super happy because they've been wanting one for a long time. So nice souvenir of Poland.
So we're about to go see St. Mary's Basilica. Looks really nice.
Here's a really good picture and a map of the old city center here. So where we were this morning was right here, and then we went in. Now we're right here at the church, and then we're gonna go find this really cool grandma's restaurant, which is I think right here. It's really tricky to find and kind of hard to get in, so you guys will have to let us know or send us a picture if you find it too. This tower here is basically like their leaning tower of Pisa, because it's slightly leaning like 55 centimeters over to one side. It's made of brick and stone, and it was built in the 13th century. And then in the early 1500s, they put this clock up in the clock tower up there. So the first time we came here was, gosh, maybe like 3 years ago or so. And it doesn't seem that hard to find, but the first time we came, it was like really strange because you go down these like little hallways and it doesn't feel like you should be in there. But today they have somebody standing outside inviting people in. So obviously they're doing more publicity for it. But you see that little grandma sign up there? That's your first indication you're in the right spot.
Welcome.
Thank you. Here's why it's strange, because when you come in, you have to go down this hall. So it doesn't feel like you're going into a restaurant. You're like, yeah, a hall of heads. So it seems very strange because you're like, what? We're in this like big building. And then the first time we came, there wasn't anybody here telling us where to go. So we're kind of like, this doesn't seem right. Feels like we're in a university or something. Then you go outside. Then you find the sign here. So then you're like, okay, this is right. And then you come in through here. You go down into this little dungeon basement. And then even when you're in this part, you feel like still like, am I in the right spot? Because look, you're kind of like, this looks like a store. And then
It's like a little person's home.
yeah, it doesn't feel like a restaurant. So then we came in here, we're like, oh, it's still not like a restaurant. And then you go through, keep going, Julia, we'll show them where to go.
Just coffee.
So then you come through here. So you can see how we were a bit confused. And then you open the doors, da 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 da, and you get into this. Sorry. Then you get into this big restaurant. You go up and you order whatever food you want, and then they call your number, and you eat. And it's like authentic Polish cuisine at its best. So I'm reading some of their foods from the menu, and because we recently went vegetarian, a lot of it's meat, right? So you've got like the typical soups, which sound amazing. Then you have things like cow tongue. You can have cow tongue here with horseradish sauce and potatoes. You can get meat wrapped in cabbage, pork, veal, poultry, fish, like pretty much everything you can possibly imagine, and the most amazing pierogies. So I think we're gonna have to try a variety of different things. And then, if I remember correctly, and it says that they have this like mushroom soup, and it comes in like in a bread bowl, so your actual soup is inside of a bread bowl. So that's what I'm gonna get. Actually, they have a ton of vegetarian options too, so want to hear a few of them? All right, let's see. So you got all the pierogies with like cabbage and cheese. You've got assorted different vegetables. Basically any kind of pierogi you want, they have different ones. And then they have a pancakes with champignon mushrooms. Well, that sounds funny, that's saying mushrooms. Champignon mushrooms, kind of like chai tea. When you say chai tea, chai means tea. Same with muesli. Muesli means cereal. Did you know that? That's funny, right? So we're having champignon mushroom pancakes with cheese. So I switched my mind and I got something called bourèche soup. The lady literally came up to me in the lineup and she's like, you have to get this soup, it's so good. So here we go, let's see. I don't know if it's vegetarian. I think so. I hope so. It does. It tastes really good. You guys are gonna have to try it. You're gonna see it's so delicious. It's quite hot, but it's really good. It tastes like a cross between onion, mushroom, and some kind of like hearty meat soup. What do you think, Chloe? Is it good? It's good, huh?
Can I have one more bite?
Yeah, of course. Have as much as you want. So in this restaurant, when they call your number, it's kind of like bingo. You're like, oh, 49, yes! And then you go get your food. Just to clarify, I'm not weird. There was a lady that was like, and she was like running with her paper, which is really funny. So all this food here that we got, which is absolutely delicious, came to $20.
It's delicious.
So good. So they call this street the Royal Way, and there are so many horses coming down the street. So I guess it is a royal way. Beautiful. Like any major attraction, a lot of the tickets get sold out fast, right? So we were able to come and we bought the tickets just here at the booth. We're gonna be able to go up to the tower, we're gonna go to the Lost Wow Wow and the Dragon's Den. But if you wanna book tickets in advance, then you'll be sure to be able to go see like the whole thing, because unfortunately we can't get to like the staterooms or the other exhibitions that they have here. So I'll put a link in the description below and you can book tickets right from our link if you'd like. And just last thing, it was about $20 for all 5 of us to do the 3 things that we're gonna do. So again, the description below will have the pricing because I don't know exactly what the other prices are to do the whole thing. It's really big in here, so we're trying to figure out which way to go. You can see it's huge. So Angelique, you lead the way. Tell us where to go.
Right there, I think.
Okay.
This
Let's
way.
go. This way?
So this Lost Wow Wow is free on Mondays.
Really cool replica of the whole thing.
It's almost like a big village.
It is like a massive village. Just went up many stairs. And we're about to go up more. Here we are at the top of the tower. Okay, last stop, we're gonna go do the Dragon's Den. So I don't know what it's about exactly, but apparently, we see fire?
And no, there's like a dragon's head, I think, and then
There must have been some
It's a
legend.
dragon legend.
yeah, we'll go see.
All right.
I know what
what
it's
it
about.
is.
What is
Can I
it?
tell you it?
Yeah, what's it about?
Basically about this king. He had a daughter, and whoever killed the dragon could become the king's daughter. Right? The king's wife. The king's wife, right? Cracow.
The king's wife or the son's wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was this one sower, like his mom was a sower, who gave lamb to this dragon, basically. And then the dragon ate all the lamb, and then he went to the river, the nearest river, and drank so much water and they said that he exploded.
There's the story. Is this the Dragon's Den?
I'm not sure.
How many stairs did we go down, Julia? A lot of stairs.
Just kept going and going and going.
We're in the Dragon's Den cave. And I'm blinded by your light.
Oh, hello. I'm in the spotlight.
So So this is the perfect spot to tell you guys that underneath the Krakow old city center, there's all these different caves and tunnels. So right beside in the main square, there's like a ticket office and you can go and buy your tickets. And I'm guessing maybe it's something like this. I don't know. If you've been, let us know. This is the famous dragon.
But
He does spit out real fire comes out of his mouth. We're actually looking for not just ice cream, we're looking for like a relaxed zone that has like chill kind of loungy chairs where we can just sit and relax and maybe like get a bit of work done and stuff like that, and check some emails, and then ice frappes, ice cream, maybe some cold ice water. Cream, is it good, girls?
Yeah. It seems like they sell a lot of these all over the streets. So right now we're gonna go on a tour of the underground of the old town square and see all the different tunnels and things, which is pretty cool.
It's about $15 US for a family of 5, and they said it's going to take about an hour to do.
Okay, so back there in that museum, we learned quite a lot of things, it was definitely like recommended to do.
Yeah, I would say if you, at first I was like, it's cool and everything, but there's so much other things to see, but the more we got into it, the better and better it got, and they had some like just really good informative things on display, so really well worth your while, especially if it's hot or it's raining, because then you're inside, so it's quite nice. And
something like we learned that in the 13th century, they were like under attack, and then their homes back then were like out of like wood or like straw, and then after that they like started making like walls.
Yeah, they fortified the whole city center with like the main big wall, and then they made another little wall, and then the moat. And they had 8 city gates at the time, and then towers to defend the city. And at the time it was like a really, really, really important center hub for trade. So what made a lot of their money at that time was the salt.
It was 30% of their income
for the whole country. So they were able to build palaces and a university and a whole bunch of stuff with the income that they had from the salt. So we just enjoyed the most delicious dinner again at Grandma's.
And then it started pouring.
I don't know what it's called yet. Then the biggest rainstorm started again. So we stayed in and we're attempting to go out in between the lightning and the thunder, and it kind of let off right now.
So for the last couple of days it's been raining. So if you come to Poland, bring an umbrella. Yeah. Unless it's just a rainy season.
I think it's just because it gets really hot during the day, and then it just has to rain. I think that's what's going on. But anyway, now we're going back.
Before it pours again?
Before it downpours again. So today we are just going to go in through the salt mines, and like we talked about earlier, the salt mines were a huge, huge, huge part of the budget here in Poland. And these aren't just any normal salt mines, because they are massive, they're super huge, they have several levels, and inside they even have like churches, if you can imagine. So that's what we're about to go do. We'll show you all about it. I think it's about a 3-hour tour, so it's pretty huge. And it's a guided tour. There's several different languages that you can choose from, and so on and so forth. So hopefully it's gonna be great. So the lineups are like really, really, really long. So if you can buy your tickets online, I would highly recommend doing that. If not, you do have a good wait when you get here. As you can see, it's super, super, super busy. And she says we're gonna be in there for about minimum 2 hours or more. And it can range from like 14 to 16 degrees. So it might be a little bit chilly. Hence why Chloe's prepared. Julia is not prepared. This is the chapel, and we're about 90 feet underground right now. And this is what they built. Not sure which year they built it in,
90
but
meters.
90 meters, sorry, what did I say?
90 feet.
Oh, 90 meters, sorry, below ground level. store down here with like food and just guys were like 90 meters underground. And like we are in a whole like area where they excavated it all by hand. And we're walking all the way back above ground the other way to get back to where the entrance is to the mines.
We don't have to walk half an hour or something crazy like that.
Yeah, because we did walk quite a bit under mines.
Isn't that not going to know where we are?
Oh, we'll call him.
Some cool facts about this salt mine is that there are 9 levels and they go down to 327 meters deep. We went to -3, and there are over 2,000 chambers, which is quite crazy. And as well, apparently, if you have asthma, like you can get cured, or it helps. The mines help you with your asthma, and wood preserves, which I didn't really know that. Wood preserves and salt. And apparently, it's the #1 attraction to see here in Poland, or one of the top. So definitely a must-see here.
I didn't know, but they actually also did yoga in the cave. Sounds really funny.
And something to know is that you need a lot of time to come. By the time you park and actually do the whole tour, it's about 3 hours. And if you take your time and stuff, or shop or meet, then it takes longer.
Whoa, look at this. So here, how do they make their ice cream, girls?
Like evaporation.
It's like a science project, just making ice cream.
They make their ice creams here with nitrogen. Yeah.
Thanks for watching our tour of Krakow, Poland. Please subscribe and give us a big thumbs up.
And comment below where you're watching from. We'd love to know. And we'll see you next time. Bye!